Internet, welcome back to another episode of We Nerdin Out. I believe this is episode 8. And boy, do we have an episode for you. We Nerdin Out is a podcast where we collect all of the cool shit we find. And I say we because I mean me and my buddy Fun Guy here. We find news throughout the week that we want to come and share with you. And we've got a lot of news for you. Everything from fucking movies, anime, gaming, TV shows. You know, things like Hell Is Us for gaming, Demon Slayer for anime, Thor Love and Thunder for movies, and Stranger Things Season 4 Part 4 for TV. So strap the fuck in, because it's going to be a hell of an episode, people.
One hell of a ride. Welcome to it.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with the game portion of the episode. And just so you guys know, there will be timestamps and links in the description below to the articles we reference and the timestamps so you can figure out, you know, where throughout the show you were talking about the things you want to hear, and it makes it easy to jump ahead and behind and stuff.
Nice and easy, very user friendly for all of you.
Yeah, we're like that.
Looking out for everybody.
We're like
looking
that.
Looking out for you. We're looking out for you.
We're really about what you guys need and want. So, first thing on the docket is we have the No Man's Sky Outlaws update. For any of you guys that know, this No Man's Skies game just never stops growing, and this is just the latest addition to this game. There's no shortage of things in this update. It's wild.
Not one.
Have you haven't played this game recently or at all?
At all. So yeah, I'm one of the probably very few that haven't actually touched No Man's Sky at all. And now with this new update adding even more content to the game's even just crazy. As a fresh pair of eyes looking at this game, very intimidating. Very like, oh my god, this is a lot of stuff to do. So let alone what does the original game offer? And then on top of it, we got this Outlaws update, which is offering a ton of cool content in the game. And visually, everything just looks amazing. So, I mean, this game looks awesome. What about you? Have you dabbled in this game at all? Or
So I've tried to dabble in this game in the past, but there's just honestly so much going on in this game. I've never really been able to like figure out how to work it all. I have had some fun messing around with like the flight and stuff because it's really cool to like fly around your spaceship and then go to like every planet you see, and then every planet you go into atmosphere, and when you're flying around in there, it's all unique and they have different wildlife. So it's just like there's a lot of like exploration that's really cool about this game, but there's so many mechanics that it is a little overwhelming. It's definitely something that would take you some time to get used to. And you know, what do you know? They just added more fucking mechanics to this game.
More and more.
I mean, some of the things you guys can, you know, be excited for is they have like this whole thing is like an outlaw theme. So there's like rebel space stations now where you can go and buy contraband. You can do like smuggling missions, all sorts of stuff. It sounds like they've revamped their space combat quite a bit. You know, they talk about it with dramatic explosions and improved space combat, you know, whatever that means. But so it sounds like they put a lot of effort into one, not only making your characters cooler with like cloth clothing and hoods, but also
completely customizable.
Yeah, also revamping, you know, the way the combat works in space and in atmosphere. So it sounds like, you know, dogfighting might be a little bit more emphasized with this update. But
oh yeah, the atmosphere combat too seems to take place in like mountain ranges. So that'd be really cool to see that. So not just space dogfights, but you're gonna have the in atmosphere combat looks really cool too. Skimming the top of mountain ranges, that just sounds fun to be able to like fly through a canyon, say if that's what it is, that would be amazing. That feel like some real Ace Combat stuff there.
yeah,
So that'd be really sick.
yeah. Top Gun's about to come out, so they're like, we need this update now.
Everybody's on top of this. We need it.
They're just gonna be fucking pumping out Danger Zone and fucking hitting 5G turns. I don't know how fast can you go in a jet. Whatever. I don't think it's 5Gs. Maybe it's more than 5Gs.
I don't know. 5G sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. 5G gives you cancer, so I don't know how that works anymore. But if we read the propaganda, yeah, it caused COVID. Who knows, really, honestly. Yeah. But the important part is you'll be able to do your Top Gun 5G reenactments in this game, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
cloth clothing.
Cloth clothing, completely customizable. You get a goddamn cape.
Yeah.
And it's customizable. So you get your own damn cape that you make.
Yeah.
If that ain't cool, I don't know what is. That there alone, I want to play this game now, just for the cape
I do love how
and the
that's
dramatic explosion.
and I do love
The
that
dramatic
those are
explosion.
two like key reference points for them. They're like, did we say capes and dramatic explosions? They're like, no, those are selling features.
Somebody probably in the make of it was just like, "Oh yeah, we updated the explosions. Hey, 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 hey. No, no, no. Dramatic. Make it sound better.
Yeah,
Dramatic explosions. That's how we get them.
do
It
better.
worked on me."
It's like a 90s ad where like dramatic explosions would be its own like little fucking sticker in the corner, and then capes would with like 7 exclamation points at the bottom. It's like that's how they
Customizable
sell
capes.
games. Yeah.
Who
They
doesn't
know
want a cape?
they know what the people want. It's dramatic explosions and capes, and if that doesn't make a great game, I really don't know what does.
They just know the mom basement version of me that wants a cape, and they just fed right into that. They knew I wanted what I wanted.
Yeah, you want some Mountain Dew, some Doritos, and a cape. We know you.
Smell this Dorito eating, Mountain Dew slurping, mom's
Yep.
basement dude, mile away. I know what he wants. He wants a cape, customizable.
Yeah, better
Cherry
make
on
it
top,
customizable.
dramatic explosion.
Yeah.
Dramatic. Yeah,
Well,
all in all, this game's looking good to me. I'm gonna dive in. I like this new expansion. That's what I gotta say about it. You?
yeah, man. I think it's like this game launched in a crazy state, and I know a lot of people were pretty upset, and they've had so many free DLCs since that release date in 2016, I believe. But I think this is like the 4th or 5th major DLC, and this one looks to be not skimping on anything. So very exciting stuff. I recommend if you guys are a No Man's Sky fan to check it out. You probably are playing it, and if you're not a No Man's Sky fan, check it out because there's a lot of shit to do in that game.
A lot.
A lot,
And did we mention they got capes?
and they got capes.
They got capes, so check it out.
Yeah. So the next thing on the video game list is this little ditty called "South of the Circle." Actually ran into this game rolling through Instagram, as one does these days. And this game just kind of caught my eye. I wouldn't say it's necessarily everyone's cup of tea because it's kind of more of like a interactive story type experience from what my understanding is. Right now, currently the game's only out on Apple Arcade. Anyone who knows what that is, it's like the kind of exclusive games that are only available on Apple devices, and you need the actual subscription to play them. So it's like Game
Okay.
Pass, except way lamer, and you
Way
can only
lamer.
play them on Apple devices. So this game is on that right now, and then soon it'll be available everywhere. You can wishlist it on Steam, and it'll be on Xbox, PlayStation, blah blah blah. Probably not the Nintendo Switch because nothing goes on the Switch, and I will make that joke until the Switch dies. But
I see it here. It is gonna be for the Nintendo Switch.
oh
So
fuck,
it'll be on stream. Or stream. God damn it. Steam. PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series XS. Nintendo Switch is on the list. This time it's on the list.
yeah.
It made the cut.
I should have known better. I was talking shit because I love to talk shit on Switch, but like I should have known if an iPad can play it, the Switch can probably play it.
Oh, hands down.
You know what I mean?
Here it comes in, just a slam dunk on your dreams.
Yeah, literally just to cut the rug right out from under me when I'm trying to talk mad shit.
Son of a.
But yeah, it says it's a game from 11-bit Studio. It's a narrative driven experience about a boy who falls in love with a girl who I think they're both from the same college, and they find themselves on like in opposite sides of the world, and he's torn with trying to either like pursue his career or chase his love. And then he also is in the backdrop of the Cold War, and he has to kind of try to navigate all these things. So it sounds like there's quite a bit going on in terms of plot, but it definitely sounds like this game is more like more narrative driven experience, like 12 hours or something like that, where it's probably more so about like the dialogue choices and interacting with the characters is probably be what is rewarding about it. Kyle, does any of this sound like something that you would actually want to play?
Actually, you know what? No. This doesn't look anything like what I want to play.
Are you sure? Dude, check out this sick gameplay, bro. They're like, none of this will be like actual controlled gameplay, but you'll be able to like watch this dude sit down and have a chat with a guy at a table, and then he'll also like walk through a storm. For
Yeah,
those of you who can't see the video, it's just a dude sitting down at a table talking to another dude. Now he's sitting down at a diner booth talking to a girl, and then it's just him walking in the snow a lot.
yeah, lots of walking, lots of snow. This girl, he's always with coffee.
Yeah.
Um, I won't slam dunk on it too hard. It looks like it would be interesting for some people. Um, I'm sure some people will find it very enjoyable. Some people may think this is top tier stuff for what they like to do in games. This is a very high budget mini movie. I don't know. Looks up. Like they did a good job making it. It looks cool. For me, it's just not my cup of tea. That's about it. What about you? This drawing you right in or what?
I mean, as a man who likes the finer things in life, I'm sure this will be a game that really does do it for me, you know? It'll be more than just a simple like hack and slash looter shooter, some kind of, base game, or like, I don't know, what's like World of Warcraft where the game plays itself. You know what I mean? It'll be something similar to that, but with actual substance and story and
Ah,
plot. You know what I mean? That's
I
really what
didn't
I'm
I didn't
about.
realize we were pretending to like it. I'll revise what I said before.
No, all
W
jokes aside, all jokes aside, I think like this kind of game is like for a specific type of person. Like you have to really
Definitely.
like interactive stories, which I do if they're good. So I'll definitely check this out just because visually it looks kind of cool. The story sounds interesting. It's hard to say how interesting until you actually play it because dialogue in games like this are everything. So I mean, it's certainly something that I'll check out. Do I think it's everyone's cup of tea? No, but I thought it was interesting, so I brought it here. And I should have known that Kyle wasn't going to be that into it, but
Oh, I'm all for it. I'm 100% in. This top tier shit right here. I'm all in for it.
that's my
Mark,
that's my shit right there.
I'm gonna go buy an iPad just to play
Oh
this.
god, don't do that. Don't do that. It's coming out for everything else, including Nintendo Switch soon, as we've learned.
Oh, I already own a Switch. This is perfect.
Perfect.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll buy it for the Switch because that thing just collects dust from me.
Yeah,
Anyway.
as we've talked about it, it's not really a game. It's more like an interactive movie, and the Nintendo Switch can't play games, so it makes sense that it works on there. But nevertheless, the next thing, the next thing in the gaming news category is actually pretty cool. The game is called Hell Is Us. Have you seen anything about this game yet, Kyle?
No, you actually just brought to my attention today, and like this looks great, amazing, already. I haven't even seen a trailer yet for it, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna be watching it live, pretty much with everybody else.
yeah,
So, yeah, everything about it just looks awesome. I was reading up a bit on the story there too, as well, and very interactive and very kind of like gotta plan your attacks around these entities or whatever you want to call them because they always fight in pairs. So very gotta think to play kind of.
yeah.
So this the
A lot of
trailer.
people are like making reference to this game being very similar to like Death Stranding, which anyone who's ever played that game knows that it's like an open world and there's a lot going on in it, and the story is very hard to follow. I don't think this game's story is going to be quite that outlandish, but it certainly seems to be in a similar vein, where like, um, you know, you're essentially fighting metamorphosized human emotions, from what I understand. So like as you can
Oh,
see in this trailer, there's a bunch of like empty human vessels, and apparently their hatred and animosity towards each other have manifested as these kind of like weird
dude.
enemies. So this is all very vague,
Know
but
what's
this is
ringing a
kind of
bell?
the
You saying
explanation.
that is very Jujutsu Kaisen. These entities are formed from negative human emotions, which I'm assuming is kind of the same idea in this game. The way
Yeah,
you worded it there, I wouldn't be surprised if that is what it is. These negative emotions kind of manifest and take over these shells and create these entities that you have to, I guess, put down. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. The trailer doesn't show a whole lot. It's mostly like a stage piece for what you can expect. Like there's some kind of heated interaction between this girl who's talking about how she just wants her revenge, and she ends up, executing this dude. And I think this is supposed to be a depiction of like, how savage humanity can be. This is kind of, like a through line throughout the whole story, but it doesn't give you a lot in terms of what gameplay or anything like that is. But stylized, uh, like style wise, it's very cool. It's got a very interesting kind of idea to it. So curious to see how that translates to gameplay. But the style of it is very cool,
Oh yeah,
very Japanesey. You know what I mean? Where it's all like,
I love Japanese.
fucking some spirits and stuff, and human emotions manifested into reality. Anyone who's played
Creating
Death
some
Stranding,
entities that are just freaking massive. You got to try and plan it out and kill them in some type of way. You get a drone. You get a drone buddy. That's pretty
yeah,
cool. And he's
yeah.
very useful. Got to learn how to play with him.
It did give me a lot of like Death Stranding vibes because Death Stranding you have like a scanner to like see the
Yeah.
entities, and that's kind of what this drone thing kind of makes me remind of because it like sits on his shoulder. I'm assuming it'll move and stuff, but obviously it's flying around, so it'll be a little more intuitive. But it definitely did really give me Death Stranding vibes. So I'm curious to
Getting
see.
lots of vibes for stuff that's already live today anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah, kind of
like
just throwing it all together.
good art, you steal from the people you admire and you attempt to make it your own. And I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but I'm definitely noticing some familiar themes and concepts. So,
Something's the same here.
yeah, not saying it's exactly the same, but it's familiar. Let's say familiar. But yeah, the game's been announced. There's no release date as of yet, so there's not really a whole lot to really kind of ooh over. There is
Yeah.
a Game Informer article where they talk quite a bit about kind of the design philosophy about the game and kind of the setting of the game. And I'll leave a link to the description below, but it's filled with, semi spoilers. So didn't really want to just go through and read them all in case people were like interested in it and didn't want to ruin parts of it for themselves. But the article is like an interview with the game director, and he goes into, a decent amount of detail into what to expect and why kind of what sets up the world and blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah.
link in the description below if you want to know more. Are you going to get this game, Kyle?
This looks awesome so far. And yeah, as you said before, isn't ready for an estimated release date yet. So it's still in the making, and the trailer already looks that good, and these photos I'm seeing of the gameplay looks really nice as well. And just the familiar aspects of it too are pretty key for me being kind of like drawn into this game. So this will be something I definitely would buy for sure and give it a go. How about you? Something you're gonna pick up and go?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got a really cool style to it. I mean, that scary shit where they're like, it's too early to tell when the release date will be. So that could be like 2027 or some crazy shit.
Oh god,
But
yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It's got a pretty interesting story from what I can understand and what I've read from the Game Informer article. So I'll definitely keep following it. It has my interests, but like we'll see what that looks like closer to like a release date, and then go from there. But it's definitely something on my radar that I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing.
Oh, definitely for sure. I like that dark vibe too.
Yeah, it does have a very like dark,
Horror
sinister
aspect.
vibe. If you
Yeah.
couldn't tell from the field of bodies in the trailer, it's just
Somebody
some
getting
stuff
just
going on in
fucking
there.
point blanked executed in the back
There
of the
was
head.
some shenanigans going on over there, and they didn't look like they went too well. Just saying.
Probably not for kids to play, I
Yeah,
would
but
imagine.
it's probably a safe bet. It's the thing nightmares are made out of.
Man, oh man. I like it.
Yeah, man. That's it for the
Yeah.
games portion of the news this week. There wasn't really a ton, to be honest. We're kind of in that slow period where the shit just exploded, in the last couple months, and now we're in that lull before we actually get like Game Fest in the summer, and they really start announcing some stuff that we could expect to look for in the next 7 years because that's how they like to announce games now. So I mean, until fall, we won't have much for new releases, but maybe we'll get some sweet ass news going forward in the summer months. But as of right now, we're kind of in the lull, so there's not a ton of stuff gaming wise, but
Yeah.
couple things. Hell is
A
us,
couple things.
It's one thing, man.
When we know, we will let you know
We will let you know.
how this works. Yeah.
On to the anime portion of the show. It's a small portion,
Anime.
but it's an
I like
exciting
anime.
portion.
Very exciting.
Kyle, what do we have for these lovely people today?
Coming up soon, we have a new arc for the Demon Slayer show. So last episode last arc being the entertainment district where we seen the Hashira Tengen, the sound Hashira. So we're moving into a new arc, the Swordsmiths, the village of the Swordsmiths, and we're going to be following a new Hashira. This one being the Mist Hashira, Tokido, I believe is how you say it. Moichiro Tokido, I'm pretty sure is how you say his name. If
Just can't.
anybody doesn't know what he looks like, he's the guy when we first meet all the Hashiras at the main temple there where the head leader was. He's the Hashira that's always spaced out. His eyes are very glossed over. He's very just airheaded. He's not really consciously there at all. So I guess we're going to be following his story now. And it'd be really cool to get some story on because the swordsmiths themselves are quite colorful characters just on their own. So it's gonna be cool to kind of get some backstory and see more about them. And then just getting more Demon Slayer out there is I'm not crying about that at all. I freaking love this stuff. I love this show. It's so good. What are your thoughts on this? You tingling at all as much as I am?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm in the middle of I'm near the end of this entertainment district arc, and shit is bananas. So a more Demon Slayer sooner, faster now would be great. So it's exciting that we're at least getting the announcement this early. It doesn't really give a release date or anything, unfortunately, but it's nice to know that they're like, hey, it's coming. Do you think we're gonna
Yeah.
get a movie? Like it doesn't really translate
Ooh,
whether this is gonna be a movie or a show.
God, I as much as I would love another movie. Uh, we need something else to contend with Mogan Train because it's still top tier on any animated show I've ever seen. So good. I'm not quite too sure how they would tie a movie in to the two arcs. It might be its own like standalone movie, I would think at that point, because the Mogan Train ties into a little mini series, which then moves into the whole entertainment district. So from the entertainment district into this sword arc or swordsmith arc, I'm not too sure how a movie would fit in there, but if they could fit one in there, please do, because the last one they absolutely killed it. Mogan Train was by far the greatest anime movie I've seen like so far. And yeah, if they could fit one, do it, please.
Yeah.
More content, more watch time. I'm down for it. I love this movie. This show is so good, and I can't. Oh, I'm just so happy I discovered it on Netflix. It popped up for the first time in English dub. I watched it, and ever since then, I've just been hooked. So good. How about you? Do you think they can squeeze a movie in here randomly? Maybe.
So
Hopefully.
part of me was kind of hoping they were going to do the same thing they did with the Mugen Train arc, where like it just comes out as a movie, and then we get it like rehashed, kind of as like a mini season or however you want to describe it. It's
Yeah.
like a decent season. I've watched it. I've watched it as a movie, and I've watched the actual show arc. You get a little bit more Rengoku info in the arc, which is nice, and then you get the same action beats and intensity that are in the movie. So it is kind of like a win-win, and I was hoping we were going to get that same treatment with this, but they just flat out tell us that this is an arc. So I don't think we're going to get a movie, but yes, I
No.
part of me really wants a movie because Mugen Train was so fucking good in
Oh,
the theater.
so good.
I really
So
feel
good.
like this anime is like perfect for the theater. It's just got
Yeah.
so much intensity in the combat. The visuals are so stunning. Like, just this flashy animation when they're, using the different elements on their swords and stuff like that. Just crazy, crazy dynamic fighting. And they're not one of those animes where they do that shit where they're like, when the shit gets really intense, they turn black and white and turn all the animation down to like pencil drawing so they can like communicate the speed. They do like full on art through the whole thing, even when it's just violently fast. So everything looks beautiful. And I really do appreciate that because it adds like a level of just pristine quality that not a lot of other animes deliver. And
No.
I mean, it was incredible for the theaters. So I fucking would pray to God we get another one. But I certainly don't think we're going to get one with this arc, unfortunately. Maybe at the end of it,
Maybe.
that would be
Maybe they could
cool.
squeeze one in then. Maybe they can set it up for a movie. That would be cool.
Yeah, man.
Since I imagine the first one got such a good feedback, these guys would be crazy not to put out another movie.
I made a lot
Because
of
I feel like the
fucking
first
money.
one did.
So
I feel because it's just such a such a good movie. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It is literally just like top tier quality. Like, as you were saying, like when those fights are mid fight and they're like the speed and everything, the way they try and translate it, they don't botch the animation. I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z, that franchise and everything. So Dragon Ball Z, not so much. Dragon Ball Super, they really botched it in the high intensity fight sequences. We would go from the animation that you see, and then they would like half-ass it in the fights, and you can like pause screen, take like a screenshot and look at the animations, and you can easily tell that they just like kind of like cut corners there. Where I feel Demon Slayer really just doesn't do that. Like everything is just crisp, clean, dramatic explosions in
Yeah.
the entertainment
There's
district.
even a couple capes
Damn.
in there, dude. Some fucking capes in there.
Couple capes in there. I'm not sure how far you got in the entertainment district, so I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. Because if you haven't seen it yet, I do not want to be that guy because it is so good. But that was a good arc. So if they can, like, they haven't botched it yet once. I haven't had a boring session yet watching this. So this next one, please don't be boring.
Yeah.
I hope this one just really just ups the ante every single time because this show is really just top tier. Any new anime watcher, somebody that doesn't like anime, like I feel like this would really just draw you in. It's just that good. I can't say enough good things about it. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
I think of like in terms of story, there's definitely some stuff going on that's pretty interesting that would draw a lot of people in. But if you're like a big fan of action sequences, it is some of the best I've ever seen. Just in terms of like flashiness and just overall quality of
Flashy.
animation. Yeah, flashy.
Keyword and entertainment.
Yeah. But man, we should do a review of Entertainment Arc or the Entertainment District Arc when we
Oh,
finish it. I'm like 3 episodes out, I think, of finishing it, and then when we're done, we should talk about it for sure. But
I'm almost done my third round of it, so I'll be really informed by this point.
yeah, you'll be ready. Yeah,
Yeah, I watched it as the episodes were coming out in Japanese dub, and then I watched it again in dub, and now I'm starting to watch it in English. Or sorry, I've been watching it in sub. God damn. Watching it in sub, and now I'm watching it in dubs. This is like my third go about. So now I'm watching it in English and I'll see how that goes too. But oh, so good. So good. I can't get enough of this damn show.
yeah, I'm one of those dubbed only swine. I know the fucking crowd. They're like, "You've watched dub, you sick fuck." They're
You
like,
fucking
it's like you're
vermin.
taking a dump on their fucking pride and joy. They're like, "Ugh, it's trash. The voices are off."
You'd be
It's
like you wouldn't be surprised like the amount of people that say they do not watch subtitle and they watch dub only. Like the amount of like negative feedback those guys get in the community is crazy.
yeah.
And like I mean, we all like the shows. It shouldn't matter in which language we watch it in, but some people feel very strongly that you should be watching sub more so than the dub. And I mean, I don't care which one I watch. I watch sub and dub. I'm just so impatient on good videos and good TV shows, good movies. I don't care what language it's in. I'll watch it because I'm just so impatient. So whether I watch it in sub and then I'll go dub or vice versa, it don't matter. But a lot of people feel very strongly that you should be only watching sub and then go to dub or maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't want to cause beef out there in the community, but I feel like that's what it is.
I do want to cause beef, so this is my fucking take on it, bro. You kids and your stupid subbed. If you want to fucking read the manga, you fucking weirdos, or read a comic book, or read a fucking book for that matter. The things that are fucking designed to read, not a fucking TV show. You fucking weirdos.
Yeah,
Good
fucking
God.
loony.
I don't watch TV to read. I watch TV to have a story yelled at me loudly and aggressively so I can maybe understand what's going on. I just think, like, all honestly, like, I think there's just certain things that if I was to watch it subbed, I don't think it would hit as hard. Like Rengoku at the end of Mugen Train, setting his heart ablaze and all that jazz. Like, that shit, like, almost moved me to tears. If I'm fucking reading that, I think there's like a level of separation that kind of taints it a little bit where I'm like, set his heart ablaze. You know what I mean? Like I have to think about it. I'm not just like hearing it and reacting with him. And I'm like, fuck yeah, set your heart ablaze. Yeah! You know what I mean? Like I really want to,
Goku.
yeah, I really want to be there, and I want to watch the whole thing and experience it while it's going. I think reading kind of takes away from that. Especially like if you're in an action sequence or something and you have to like look at the bottom of the screen, like you're just missing something in those sequences, like a little bit, whether you want to admit it to yourself or not, you do kind of lose a little bit. So in my personal opinion, I think dubbed is better for me because it allows me to just like truly get lost in it and really get that emotional experience. And yeah, I don't fucking watch TV to read, so if you don't like that, suck my dick. That's all I have to say about it. People are fucking
disagree
weirdos.
with the statements.
50-50, you know? I think some
50-50.
Yeah, let me ride that fence.
I much prefer dub only because I understand English and I am such a yeah, I just haven't tried to learn a second language because why would like I just haven't done it yet. Just useless one language person. Oh, my bad.
Yep.
But yeah, like I agree with you on that part. Like seeing it in English definitely hit harder than it was in Japanese just because you have to like you can read and hear the tones and the voices, but it's not the same as it is like watching it in a language that you understand. So you're actually like there, you're like fully engulfed in the experience. You're there for the whole thing. You don't have to like be taken off. It's all subconscious. You understand what's going on. You don't have to think about what you're hearing to be able to translate it to emotions and such. So yeah, I get that. And I prefer it in dub as well. I just
Yeah.
watch both. I'm just impatient for me.
That's pretty much why I haven't finished the entertainment arc. Is there's 2 episodes left that aren't dubbed, so I have to wait. But I
right.
really did think about watching it in sub just because it's so fucking good right now that I was like, oh. But those are like the last 2 episodes, so I think it's important for me to wait because there's probably some cool shit in there that I don't want to ruin by having to try to read through it. Another thing about subbed is some of us suck ass at reading. So, you know, I'm sitting there sounding out fucking words like a dumbass, you know, and I'm trying to understand what's going on. This doesn't work for me, okay? I don't want to feel stupid while I watch my cartoons, all right? So fuck.
So the E jumps over that and bonks that one on the head, makes it say its name, right?
Yeah.
So it's not Hope. Hope.
So, that's not a guy's fucking name. This whole time I thought Hope was a dude's name. I don't know. Fuck. Setting his heart ablaze. I'm in there fucking philosophical monologue in my mind. I'm like, what does that mean? What does setting your heart ablaze mean?
Ablaze.
Is this a haiku? How many syllables? Like, nah, fuck that shit. I just want to watch the show. All right.
Oh my god.
I think I ragged on it enough, but
end of the day, Demon Slayer, top tier shit. I don't even want to hear what you got to say about it. If you got something to say about it, you can comment down below. I don't give a shit.
No.
I'll stand up for this. Demon Slayer is definitely top.
It's great. It is a great anime.
So good.
And you know what? You're cool if you watch it in sub or dub. We don't hate on anyone here. Yeah.
I won't hate on you. Not one bit.
I might think you're a little weird, like that kid who pulls his pants all the way down at a urinal to take a pee. I might think you're that weird if you watch subbed, but it doesn't mean that I don't think you're not cool. Because guys who do that can also be cool. Yeah.
In another life, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Not this one.
I don't make the rules, all right? I just live
Pants
by them.
down urinal guys is a different breed altogether.
Not a good comparison, man.
Pants all the way down and they like lift their shirt up so they get piss on their shirt and piss in the urinal.
The shirt up is too much. The pants down is like I can maybe take that. Shirt
pants
up
down.
Shirt
ass
up is
cheeks
just,
are just clinched. They got their shirt picked up all the way. Don't want to piss on the bottom of my shirt.
The shirt up is too much for me. That's where I lose it. I have laughed out loud in public washrooms because of that exact experience. You want to talk about an awkward moment where you like come around a corner and you're like, dude, this guy's got his pants down. You're like, whoa, that's a lot. Don't look at that because that's awkward. And then you like catch it in the corner of your eyes that he's just fucking flashing the wall. I just instantly started laughing. I had to leave. I was like, I came in here to pee, but like I can't fucking focus right now.
Did he look over his shoulder and a sub bro you when you walk in too?
No, he was like lost in it, dude. He was like having the best time of his life. He was like swaying, like it was just a lot to take in, dude. There was too
Little
much to
Seth Rogen
process,
giggle.
bro. Yeah, pretty much. If he had of, I think I would have fucking died right then and there. Just blacked out and hit my head and dead. Because like I barely could fucking hold my laughter in rounding the corner, let alone fucking him make audible noises that my brain would have broken. There's no way I could have hung on.
Oh, that's how you know it's good.
Dude, it was and then I came out of the bathroom just fucking dying laughing. Everyone looked at me like I was a lunatic. Like I'm the fucking weirdo. But regardless, yeah.
Oh my god. There's your tangent of the episode.
There's your tangent. You're due for at least one or two, and I think we got two in there. Fucking anime sub dub and a fucking
Fuck yeah.
pull your pants down shirt up to pee.
Flash the wall, piss in a urinal guy.
Yep.
Fucking weirdo.
For the record, though, that guy is a fucking legend. He made my day, and I still think about it to this day because it haunts me. It's hilarious.
It's engraved in the brain at this point. Forever with you.
What yes. What a legend.
Top tier comedy right there.
It is. It is.
Oh my.
So that was it for anime this week. I will admit I do have to do a little more digging in the anime section because I feel like there's definitely some more news that we're probably missing. So I
probably dig into some more myself.
I will make more of an effort to do some research in anime and maybe comics because I do read comics. I do read the medium that you have that is for reading. I do that, so I'm not against it. Just saying.
That's weird. I'm like vice versa. I'll read sub, but I will never read a fucking book in my life.
Dude, I'm telling you, some books really do like deliver like a different experience where you really do like get lost in it. I don't necessarily think like comics do that too much. It's mostly just that the story's fucking cool and you get more info in the comics. So typically,
I have a hard time like reading it and kind of like taking the words and making a picture in my head. Like some people can like read a book and like it's like a movie in their head is playing. For me, it's literally words and like I understand the meaning behind the words, but I can't like piece it together into like a movie type aspect in my head. I just don't work that way. That's why manga, comics, anything with like visual stimulus for me is like where it's at for me to be able to read something. Because I just to read words and stuff, it's not going to retain my attention at all because I just can't make things happen. It's not how I work. Not how I function. I envy all you readers out there. That's a gift. I can't do that.
Yeah, see, I am very much the movie in your head type, so I can get there. Problem is my ADD brain's like, I want stuff now, where most books are very slow. I shouldn't say very slow, but like there's a lot of build up, there's a lot of other stuff, and I'm just so used to TV, growing up watching a shit ton of TV that I need to be bombarded constantly with excitement. So it's a little hard for me to get into books, but there's been a couple that definitely really do sink in, and I can't help but be like just mesmerized by the amount of story they're able to convey to you via words and your brain filling in the blanks. Dude, there's this one comic book I'm reading right now called The Department of Truth, and there's a segment in there where it's this Sasquatch hunter guy, and he's on like the latter part of his life, and it's become like his whole life has been consumed by trying to find Sasquatch. And there's more to it than that, but this is the vague overarching story of this dude's life. But throughout the comic book, in probably like 3 or 4 issues, he has these handwritten notes that he's writing to his son about like all the shortcomings that he thinks he's befallen on him, and like just how he's upset that, you know, how he was depicted in his eyes and in his mother's eyes. Holy fuck, dude. I have never been like so emotionally just punched in the fucking heart from reading something in my life, because it was just one of those things like it struck a chord with me, like kind of just pursuing these things that people don't think are real. It's like a metaphor for life, or chasing things that people don't think you can ever get. And the way it's depicted in there is just so compelling. And it's just, it's an overall just like sad story, but there's also some levity in the end because you get to see how the story concludes. But holy fuck, man. that was one thing I like. Stuff like that catches me off guard sometimes, where I'm just like, honestly, it just hits me, and I'm like, wow, I'm about to cry reading a fucking comic book. It could be because I'm getting old, but honestly, sometimes, man, people do it. People out fucking do themselves. It is incredible. But that's my
The
story.
envy I have.
Yeah,
I cannot.
that's
I'll never get there.
one day when you're old and everything excites you, maybe.
And then I'll pop my Harry Potter glasses.
Then are you gonna
And
go
then I will
back
read a
and
book.
read the books?
Oh, here we go.
Hello,
So
Hamora.
take those off before I get shit talked on.
I was thinking there was a comment on the way, but I didn't have one locked and ready to go. I'll think of something.
Dodged it.
Don't worry. Like later, 2 a.m., you'll get a text message from me like, you fucking look stupid in your glasses. And I'll be like, it took me that long to come up with something to throw shade at you. But it's still going to get there. That's the important
And
part.
then I go to work in the morning with an hour of sleep because I cried all night.
I hope not. That brings us to the movie portion of this episode. Hey, we managed to survive the games and the anime. Now it's to the movie, and there's actually some pretty fucking cool movie news, Kyle. So it's
a pretty good movie.
It came out. They announced this a while back, but it's official now. The Batman, that little grungy pick with Rob Pattinson brooding a lot. It is finally streaming on HBO Max. I'm assuming Prime in Canada, or what is it? Crave in Canada. But if
Crave,
you have the HBO add-on, so if you want to pay like $30 a month, you could stream it in Canada. And in the States, they just get it on HBO Max because their shit actually makes sense. But they announced
I have it on Crave.
Okay. So you have it on Crave?
Yeah. So on Crave, we have an HBO tab, and that it is on there.
Nice.
So 100% we got it here in Canada on Crave.
Nice. So yeah, they announced it when the movie was premiering that it would be like I think it was 45 days from the theatrical release that it would go on to HBO Max. And then they're saying
fast.
It is very fast. I'm actually really excited because I do want to watch it again. So I will definitely fucking watch it again now that it's available to watch at my leisure and pause to walk around and really think about what's going on in that movie. And also walk away from it because it's exceptionally long. But so that's
breaks are not a problem anymore. Perfect.
Yeah. And so it started streaming today, the 18th. And then apparently on the 23rd, it'll actually start airing on the HBO channel on TV. So that's kind of cool. So if anyone didn't get to experience this sucker in theaters, you should fucking watch it now if you have HBO Max. And if you want to empty half your life savings, you can get it on Crave and watch it there too. How crazy is it that you can almost buy this on Blu-ray for the price that it would cost you to get Crave and then get the HBO add-on for 1 month?
I don't even know what we're paying for.
It's like $10. It's like $10 for Crave, and then I want to say like 12 for HBO. I could be talking out of my ass, but I think that's right. Kyle will do the fact checking.
I feel like I have no idea what I even pay for this.
Joke's on you. You pay too much.
Probably. I'm gonna look at it and be like, yeah, we're canceling this.
Oh man, the worst part about Crave is HBO has so many good TV shows that it actually upsets me that HBO Max not available in Canada. We used to have HBO Go, now we don't because it's a part of Crave. But like I have gotten Crave over the years with the HBO add-on for things like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. But it's just so fucking expensive, dude. And I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying it's expensive.
All right, my grand total, and I have HBO on it as well, $19.98. So pretty much $20.
$20
a month.
And you could buy the movie for like $30, and then you could actually own it physically, and you could take it out and play frisbee with your dog. Like you could do whatever you want because you fucking own it at that point. It's cheaper than buying TV shows. Like there's lots of great TV shows on like HBO, like The Wire, all that stuff. Name a couple more.
What else?
Game of Thrones, The Wire, fucking so many that my brain is struggling to fucking even think about it. Hung, good lord.
Yeah, it's $20 a month is what
There's
I'm
so
paying for
much
this thing.
good TV on there.
Jesus.
But yes, it is expensive. That's the joke that I'm trying to make. I wish we had HBO Max. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
not worth it. I'm just saying it's a lot of
Oh
money.
my god. Okay,
But
so it looks like okay, so my Crave subscription is 19.90. My HBO and movies add-on is 9.99
yeah,
on top of that.
so you're paying
Oh no,
$30.
Crave total $20. I'm fucking confused at this billing cycle here because it's like one section says Crave 9.99, another and right underneath it says HBO plus movies 9.99, which essentially equals my Crave total, which I just got charged here a month. The eighth.
$20.
20 bucks a month for a whole lot of something. I did hear, I don't know if it's true or not, but Crave is you know how everybody like one guy has the Netflix account, shares it with like his entire fucking family, but you can only
Mhm.
have like a max of like what, four accounts, four people that can watch Netflix at a time before it's like, hey, too many screens are playing it. I
Okay.
heard, and I don't know if it's true or not, I might have to fact check it, that Crave was going to be doing a kind of unlimited screen kind of thing. So like you can have unlimited amount of people on one Crave account.
Hmm.
So if that's true, that's going to be quite the downfall for Crave. I don't even know why they would even advertise that, but I did hear about that. So I'd have to check to make sure it's actually true. This is just what I heard. So don't
I
don't.
could see that being true. And the only reason I say that is because eventually their license with HBO will expire, and then Crave has nothing really. So, in my opinion, they would probably try to maximize their amount of profit they could get while they have the HBO license, because once they lose that, it's pretty much worthless to me. In my opinion. In my opinion. If I'm wrong, if somebody knows that there's like Crave shows that are so fucking good and I'm just dumb and I don't know what they are, please tell me. But as far as I'm aware, the only really good use of Crave is that you can get HBO. And there is no
Both.
shortage of great shit on HBO.
Okay, so I got the gist of it here. So both Crave Mobile and Crave Total offer unlimited registered playback devices. However, you can only watch with 5 at one time. So see what
Okay.
they're doing.
So it's pretty comparable to
Yeah,
Netflix.
exactly. So you could have as many profiles as you want, but only 5 people can watch it at a time.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Do
Got
you
your
actually
got your little tidbit there.
watch any HBO shows on there?
My wife crushes like Crave, like everything on Crave. She watches everything. Handmaid's Tale, RuPaul's Drag Race, like just
Yes.
name 2 out of the many that she watches. For me on Crave, it was what Godzilla versus Kong was about all I watched on there.
There's so
Now
much
I'm
good
gonna be
TV.
watching I'm gonna be watching whatchamacallit,
There's so
oh my
much
god,
good TV
Batman.
on. You know what you should watch on there? Well, after
What's that?
Batman, you should watch True Detective season 1. Only season 1, Kyle. You watch
Only
it.
season 1?
If you can get through season 1 and tell me that show isn't fucking probably the best thing you've ever watched, I will be amazed. But that's on
Alright.
there. Girls is on there.
I'll give
Hung's on there. Fucking, I don't know. Literally so many shows are on
know what I'm looking
HBO.
at
The
right now? I'm
Wire.
looking at the Batman. That's what's on here right now.
Yeah, that's probably the most important. That's what we're talking about today, guys. It's there
Oh,
now. It's
uh,
very exciting.
Justice League was the other one I watched. The Zack
Oh,
Snyder cut.
yeah.
The 2.5 days to watch cut. That one.
Yeah, the one that
Oh,
added
Halloween Kills is now on Crave as well.
exciting.
Dune. I watched Dune today for the first time.
Ooh,
That's also on
actually
Crave.
that's actually really good.
That was good. Damn, the audio. I see why they got I think they won that
They won a
for the
couple
Oscars
things.
for audio.
I think they
Yeah, I
won
think
like
they
set
won something like
design
that.
and maybe audio design. That
'Cause damn,
show
that was
is very good.
I got a Bose surround sound system and that shit was like bumping. So good.
Yeah.
That was really good sound. And it was confusing at times watching that movie, but at the end of the day, it was still so good.
So here's the thing. There's quite a bit going on in that movie and then like the Dune universe period. So like
Yeah,
it's really one of those movies where one, you probably want to watch it more than once, and two, it's good enough that watching it more than once wouldn't feel like a chore. So I feel
yeah,
like, that's not probably not by design, but it's a happy coincidence that it's really like that. But yes, there's a lot of shit that if you one didn't read the books or have watched other previous iterations of it, There could be a lot going on. So don't be afraid to watch it more than once if there's stuff you didn't understand or what have you. And it's
Daddy
definitely worth
Skarsgård's in there. Fuck, Baron. Damn, that's a badass character. I love the
Baron
voice he
Zeno.
does in that too. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's a good movie. I'm sure if I read the books, I'd understand more of what's going on, but I'm not a reader, so that's
Yeah.
never gonna
I
happen.
I would argue even if you read the book, there's still a lot of shit that you don't understand because it's a lot of crazy things that
We're over
intertwine.
here. We're over
Yeah.
here. We're over here. He's having a vision. Is it real? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Like it doesn't matter. We're gonna ride giant sandworms later. That's all
Yeah,
we're
what the
waiting
fuck?
for.
I seen it one time.
The shadow.
This is
Yeah.
only part 1. I didn't realize Dune was a part 1, so
Oh
there's
yeah.
a part 2 to come out, I would imagine, as assuming part 1 did good enough.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It got greenlit like after opening weekend. Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
made
fuck
a
yeah,
lot of
then.
money. It's very good.
'Cause the way it stopped, there's a lot more to come, so
Yes, I will. Yeah, it does end abruptly when you're kind of like, damn, we're just getting started.
yeah.
It does do that for sure. All right, so back to the news, Kyle.
Back to the news.
We're still in the movie portion of the news, and boy, did something get announced today that is very, 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 very exciting. The
Very
Thor
exciting.
Love and Thunder trailer got released. Holy shit, does this fucking movie look like it's gonna pack the punch? Plus, the trailer has an incredible choice of song, and I would love to play it for you, but
Oh,
you know how
copyright
that
sucks.
goes. But it's got Sweet Child of Mine playing over it. And holy shit, does it hit the feels?
That's something Marvel does so well in ever since, like, Guardians of the Galaxy really popped it off with, like, making a mix, and, like, ever since, they've just been just killing it with their music.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude, have you had a chance to watch this trailer?
I did watch it once, yeah, and, oh, the tingles are coming back. We haven't had a Thor standalone since November 3rd of 2017 was our last one, which was Ragnarok.
Yeah,
So for Thor to get his own standalone, plus he's with the Guardians of the Galaxy, this is where he kinda I'm assuming this is the part where at the end there, Peter Quill and, Thor are like, "Oh, I'm the captain." He's like, "Of course you are. Of
yeah,
course. Of course. Of course." And then I'm assuming this is where we take off from is how they're kinda teamed up and they go through the universe and everything. So, I'm fucking excited. I love
yeah.
Marvel. Thor is like one of my favorite characters, hands down. So, what about you? What do you like?
Dude,
I'm ready for it.
I it was one of those trailers I started watching it and just instantly started smiling because there's just so many like good little moments throughout it. And Kyle's right. Like the last time we got to see a Thor movie was Ragnarok, which was fantastic. And I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
this one's just missing no stride at all. Like it just looks like we're gonna pick up where that shit left off and keep moving. But just everything about this trailer, the tone is so good. You know what I mean? It's like starts off with like Thor with this inner monologue about him trying to like figure out what his life's about now that all of his homeland's gone and everything, and he's kind of left as Fat Thor, so he's trying to figure out like what he's doing. And they just like and it's a Taika Waititi movie, so like the same guy who did
oh,
Ragnarok, so you just know there's gonna be packed with like little Easter eggs and funny moments and just charm. The guy's got fucking such an eye for charming shit, and there's
that dude
no
is
shortage of it in
always
this
so good.
trailer, dude. Like Thor working out with like the chains and like all sorts of
Yeah.
just crazy little moments throughout this trailer that just kind of made me smirk and was like, yeah, I can't wait to watch this. And it looks like Korg's coming back. So that's
No,
fucking
good.
cool.
My favorite line from him was "Piss off, Ghost,"
Yeah.
where Loki's at in the prison or whatever, and then he just comes out and he like tries to drop kick him. He's like, "Piss off, Ghost."
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
good. Yeah, even
Oh
there's even a moment at the end, near the end of this trailer where like Peter Quill has this like monologue where it's like it comes in these times where you like have to just look in the eyes of the people you love, and Thor's like standing directly in front of him, just staring him in the eyes. It's like that awkward stare down moment, and he's like, "Not me," and he's like, "Oh, I was just listening." You know what I mean? He does that classic like Thor brush off shit. So I mean, I think it looks like it's gonna go all over the place. The scenery that they show in the trailer looks incredible. It's that Disney CG money where they spare like no expense and they just fucking I don't know lock 700 CG like developers in a basement and just never let them
yeah.
leave. Their shit just looks so clean, it's ridiculous. But yeah, man,
Actually
I
looks
don't
like
know.
it's part of the show.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, it's about as real as shit can get, man. It's
Yeah.
wild. But yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things. If you guys haven't watched the trailer for yourselves, you really should. It is an experience. It literally made me smile. Like the second I turned it on, and when the thing was done, I was still grinning like an asshole, and I was ready to, ready for this movie to come out and ready to see it. So it is super exciting that we're gonna get another mainline Thor real soon.
Yeah.
What about you, Kyle? What do you are
Oh,
you can't wait for it or what?
my inner child is just reeing with excitement right now. I'm fucking just screaming. I'm so pumped for another Thor movie.
Yeah, dude.
And to like Guardians of the Galaxy are clearly there too. So like god
Yes.
damn, there's a lot of good cast, a lot of good characters, and I love Marvel's hint of comedy, and with him as the director again, you know for a fact there's gonna be some good stuff in
Oh
that
yeah.
dude is a talent.
Yeah.
So damn good at what he does, and as an actor, a director, like this dude's a package. So like this is gonna be such a good show.
Yeah.
There's gonna be no messing around. I'm super pumped for this.
Yeah.
Uh Curious to see how it ties into the universe that it is now, and oh my god.
It's kind of one
Fucking
of those things
woo! I'm so excited.
we're gonna see Doctor Strange,
Oh,
Multiverse of Madness
right.
in May, and then this
Yeah,
comes out July 8th. So like I don't know how much like interaction those two movies are gonna have, but I mean you got to imagine there will be a little bit because they're setting up
yeah.
Phase 4 for whatever that's gonna be. But I
No
mean
more
more
Avenger
Marvel,
movies,
dude.
but I'm down for more Marvel. Keep pumping it out.
Yeah, dude.
Just like nonstop. Yeah, lock those CGI dudes in a basement and just make them pump out everything that they can possibly pump out. 'Cause it's so good.
Dude, that movie looks like there's just so much CG in it, but none of it looks out of place.
No,
None of it looks like the
none of it.
Halo TV show. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Episode 1, that shit, never mind. But we
But
won't
I
go
could
there.
feel the blood pressure rising already.
Yeah,
Jesus.
we're not going to talk about it. Not this episode.
I'll just say I already canceled my Paramount Plus subscription.
It's safe. Yeah. I
I
haven't
paid for
watched
it once, so I
episode
was like, "What
4
the
yet,
fuck?"
and I don't know if I'm gonna. I think I might do myself the favor and just not, and then I don't have to cry about how bad it is. But we'll see. I have to. I feel like I have to watch at least the first season because one, I've watched 3 episodes of that trash thus far, so I might as well keep going. And two, just to see if it's like by the end of season 1, do they set up something that makes me want to come back, or is it still kind of just vague and weird? So I will finish it, but I just have not continued to watch it because there's just fucking better things on, like Entertainment District arc, like way better,
Oh,
way
so
better. Kyle,
this
have
that
you heard of? Sorry to interrupt you. Have you heard
oh,
of an anime called Ranking of Kings?
yeah, yeah, I've seen that one. That's with the, little diaper dude.
A little bogey. Like, have
Yeah.
you watched
I
it?
haven't watched it yet, but I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah,
The
Justin.
the anime scene is kinda where I thrive, like, I'm pretty familiar with everything that's going on in there. I do know that anime in particular is actually scoring top charts on a lot of, reviews in the community and everything, and Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll kinda did like an award ceremony, and, that taking, one of the awards away was that show, so it must be really good. I just haven't had a chance to give it a go. I have so if you guys could see my continue watching list, it's fucking all over the place and just crazy. I crushed, like, everything I can. That not being one I've touched yet, but I will get at it. How
Yeah,
is it? Is it good or what?
yeah.
I'm
Justin
assuming
told
you
me
dived in.
this. Yeah, Justin told me he's like, dude, it's like the best anime ever. And I was like, all right, let me fucking wait and see. And I don't know, I'm probably like 10 episodes deep in the first season. It's one of those longer animes where like they're at like episode 24 or some shit, so like the seasons are fairly long. But so far it's pretty good. It's got a different vibe to it. The art style is a lot more simplistic, which is kind of nice. Kind of feels like a more like retro feeling
Yeah.
cartoon show, and it's got like a whimsical edge to it, where like it kind of feels like old like Disney films, where the art is kind of more. I don't want to say childish because that's not the right word, but like more friendly, inviting. It's got a more of like a whimsical approach to it. So it's not as
Okay.
intense and violent as something like Demon Slayer. But
So, Ranking of Kings actually got Anime of the Year for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards of 2022. So that's what Ranking of Kings took away, was that one.
yeah,
That looked like it for the awards. So yeah, I mean, for it to get Anime of the Year, to be there with 86, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, Final Season Part 1, Sunny Boy, like these are all great animes, and it made it in there with them all. So like, that's how you know it's it's not like some walk around anime. It's definitely going to be good if they're giving it an award like that.
yeah. So far, it's pretty good. It's definitely
Yeah.
a different. It's different. There's a lot of stuff going on in it, and I'm still kind of at the point where the season hasn't told us like what's quite going on yet. So a lot of the episodes I'm watching right now are like they're filling in a little bit of the blanks, but there's still just way more questions. So I'm curious to see, how I'll think of it when those questions are starting to get answered. But it's definitely a pretty good ride, pretty fun ride so far, and it kind of has like a nostalgic edge to it. Like it really does kind of feel like old Disney films or something, where it's like, you know, guys or gals that are just down on their luck and all the things aren't going their way. They meet a friend, and that one friend was all they needed to really like motivate them to the top and kind of propel them. So it's less of like the standalone hero archetype where you get it in like Naruto or like Demon Slayer, where one guy's got to really like fucking channel his all to like overcome the shit. It's got a little bit of that, but it's more so about like the camaraderie and how like one could rely on other people to lift him up and why he's worth doing that. So it's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's a nice change of pace. So we'll see what I think of it near the end, but I definitely think if you guys are looking for something new to watch, I would recommend checking it out if you haven't. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's oh, there's no shortage of good animes. Like I got like list on list of like just random things you would never think to watch, and they're actually like really good.
I
Like
believe it,
another
man.
one people can watch is God of High School. I just finished it last night. Yeah, last night, and it was really good. There's more to come. It's not finished yet. So where I got it's done now, but yeah, it's super good. I like it a lot. And
Yeah,
lots more. Lots more. There's
dude.
no shortage of good anime.
Yeah, and now that all of it's kind of fucking compiled into Crunchyroll, like there's just
Ooh.
no shortage of things to find on there, man.
Speaking of Crunchyroll, have you checked out the Crunchyroll beta for their new web launcher?
No.
Okay, so there's a new beta out for their uh website app, whatever you call it. It's a lot more user friendly. We have a browse tab here with genres. We can get Crunchyroll originals, simulcast, release
Yeah.
calendars. Like everything's a lot more user friendly, a little more organized, so you can actually navigate a lot faster now and find what you want. There's also a manga tab. They got a games tab. They got a store tab. Like everything's a lot more easy to find, I guess is the keyword there. Everything's a lot more user friendly, easier to find. You can continue off on shows that you're previously watching a lot easier. They give you a much cleaner top picks for you tab now. So this beta is really nice, and I hope this plays out for them. So they keep this as their main website now. They move into this beta, so it looks really good, really nice.
This
If you haven't seen it yet,
it
definitely
sounds
opt in
cool.
for it.
I feel like that's probably my only gripe with Funimation and Crunchyroll is they just kind of lack the features and performance of something like Netflix. Like
Yeah,
Netflix almost feels like it just knows what I want it to do. You know what I mean? Like when I open my shit, it's like, would you like to continue watching? Because it's probably like, there's some algorithm that understands that like when I return to Netflix, I usually continue watching whatever I was watching. It's not just bombarding me with new shit all the time.
yeah,
So it's just like, I don't know, everything about the way Netflix is set up is so streamlined and easy. And other streaming services kind of lack that. And Funimation and Crunchyroll, I think, are definitely on the
even
lower
more so.
tier of
Yeah,
stuff of that where they just kind of struggle. So it is kind of nice that they're really one investing in acquiring all the fucking anime into one spot that really like kind of corners the market, and then two that they're actually taking the time and focus necessary to fix their overall user experience to make it more inviting and just better. So that's cool.
yeah.
But
Don't be Netflix, but Netflix definitely set a bar really high, and, like, it's just so perfect, really.
yeah,
Netflix is, like, the key, like, streaming service, like, everything is just so perfectly laid out and perfect.
yeah, kids
So,
can use
don't
it. You know
don't
what I mean?
don't be Netflix, but, like, I wouldn't be completely offended if you were, like, pretty much the same
Yeah.
in terms of
It's
layout and
okay.
everything, like,
So
it
if you
just
just
works.
take what they do and add some orange instead of the red, I think
Yep.
we're good. Like that's what I want. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't have to be quite that good, but like certainly something similar in that vein. It does make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Also, it'd be nice, like if they implement like skip intros,
Yes.
go to
Oh
next
my
episode,
god.
stuff like that. Like little features like that save you, 5 to 10 minutes here and there. And sometimes
Yep.
on the Funimation app, that could be a lot more because sometimes like the episodes just don't load and then you have to like go out and go back in. So it would be nice if that whole process was streamlined and a little bit more user friendly. That would be probably like my biggest gripe is I should be able to skip the intro constantly and I should be able to, proceed to next episode as the episode ends. The
Yeah.
only thing is like with anime they do a lot of that shit like on the tail end, like after the credits there's like a 2-minute scene of
Mm,
something, so I
yeah.
understand why they don't, but like most of the time it's either spoiling what's going on in the next episode or it's trivial. Like if I just go to the next one I'm not really going to miss that much. So
Yeah.
personally
Always some
I would prefer.
little skitter goof or gaff or whatever they do at the end there. It's pretty common in, like, all animes, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah, skip intros because the intro is always the same. Sometimes they, like, play a bit of the episode and then they go to intro, so it's like, I don't know if that's kind of an issue to kind of pinpoint where to put that skip intro part, but I
Yeah.
feel like there's gotta be timestamps to upload this stuff. Can't be that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, skip intro is huge because as great as they are, when I'm like episode 366 into Bleach, I don't want to be watching the freaking intro over and over and over again. Um, and
That's
like
not
just
something you're
next
into.
episode, like I'm here to binge. Just let me dive into the next one without having to watch the intro or the outro and like fast forward through it just to get to the next episode. Like it's really annoying. Skip intro, next episode, huge part. I need those.
Yeah,
Those
those
are
would be
really
nice.
important.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I do that
Yeah.
thing too where like if you watch an anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, they'll like change the intro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You get an intro. So like I'll watch it once because I'm like, I want to see what it is. And then after that, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Unless it's got a sweet ass song. Then sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll let it play. But for the most part, I like to skip it because I'm an asshole and I want to save time.
I just wanna get into the episode. They're all so juicy. I just wanna get back into it.
That's really it. When you're binging and you're like, I don't want to watch the credits, just fucking go.
Motherfucker. I'm like, this intro is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. You're trying to fast forward. Then you're into the episode. You went too far. You're like, fuck. And then you're going back trying to fix it. And it's
What do you
a
think if
nightmare.
what do you think if they did like super edits? You know how like so like Demon Slayer, this entertainment arc, the show will end, then the next episode begins, and it'll have like a small recap, and then it
Yep.
gets into the episode. What if they just did like a fucking super edit where they cut out all the fucking credits, all the intros, and they cut out all the recaps? So it's just like a fucking, I don't know, 7 hour long
One
movie,
solid movie.
and then you could pause it or whatever and come back to it. But like, there's something inside me that kind of likes that idea that where I could just like skip all of the bullshit and just watch the show with no recaps, no garbage, just fucking start to finish, one shot it if I wanted.
My only issue
It would
with
be good.
that would be I have a full-time job still. Do I trust myself to turn it off and go to bed on time? No, I don't.
That's
I
true.
will watch the whole fucking thing.
That's a valid
They
point.
they have such good ways the way these episodes work to just keep you so locked in, so intrigued at what's going on. Like, it's so hard to put these episodes down unless there was, like, the outro where you're going into something else, you kinda, like, snap off from that connection for a second, you're like, "Oh, we're into the outro now." It's like, "Oh, it's kinda like 1 in the morning, I gotta get up in 5 hours, I should probably just turn it off now since we're at the outro anyway." Where if it was just going and going and going, I would be so lost in time. Like, that'd be my downfall for sure in that.
No, now that you say that, that's probably exactly why it's not like that because it's just like they don't want people to lose their lives watching shit. That
I'll
makes
just be
sense.
I'll be sitting back, drool dripping from my face, just watching.
I've had
Oh,
shit like that happen where like you get in a binge cycle and then the next thing you know you're like, dude, it's 4 in the morning. I gotta go to work.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You get that awakening moment where you're like, oh no, what have I done?
Sitting on your foot too long, go take your first step, collapse. You're like, shit, that thing's asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably exactly why that doesn't exist. So it's probably for the
Mhm.
better. Now that you put it like that, it actually makes a lot more sense.
I don't trust myself one bit to go to bed on time and stop a show, especially a
Oh,
good
dude.
show, so
Yeah, some of these
oh
fucking
my god.
anime arcs, you're like, when the episode ends, you're like, God, I gotta see what happens. And if it like never stopped to give you that moment of like reflection, yeah, you would just be like, nope, keep watching. I'm not gonna pause here. God knows where this is gonna go. Like,
Fucking Tanjiro just figured out his sun breathing, like, son of a bitch, now I have to watch this. This is
yeah,
getting spicy, like,
yeah,
oh
fucking
man.
Nezuko's biting through shit. You're like, fuck yeah,
God, that was
shit gets
so
crazy.
badass.
All right,
Okay, you did
we'll
see
save
that
it.
part.
Yeah, yeah, we'll save it. We'll save it.
Fuck. I
There's a
can't talk about it. I can't
there's an
talk. There's just
entertainment
so
arc
much. I will
review
spoil it.
coming. We will probably get to it next episode or something. We'll see. But back to the news that we actually were here to talk about, Kyle. The last
Yeah,
thing on the news list.
forgot.
I know you guys have been waiting
Welcome to
patiently.
Unscripted, We Nerd Out. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. So the last thing on this week's list is, of course, Stranger Things season 4. Trailer
Yeah.
has dropped. A lot of info has come out about it. We're going to try to refrain from spoiling anything, but definitely talk about like what we think is going to happen and what looks cool in the trailer. So we won't spoil anything, but we'll definitely talk about things that are in the trailer. Um, that's about it for stuff that we're going to focus on in that. But the two important things, the release dates were announced. So Volume 1 will be May 27th and Volume 2 will be July 1st. Kyle, have you got a chance to watch the trailer for this?
I have not watched the new trailer yet. I was actually
Oh
holding off on it,
my
but
goodness.
damn, there I seen some snippets and clippets, and holy crap, am I tingling just to watch this one.
Dude, yeah.
The new villain.
The new
Damn.
villain. There's just so much going on in this show now. They talk about it. The Duffer Brothers talk about it a lot in a bunch of interviews that they've done in accordance to this trailer being dropped. But holy shit, man. There's just so many things going on in this show. If you think about back to when it started and it was just a group of, simple group of kids who were just hanging out. And then now they're all like fucking young adults, separated, been through some fucking battles. Will was in the upside down for like ever. They've seen people die. Like there's just so much that's happened in these kids' lives. So if you think about where they started and where they're at now, it's like just so crazy to me. Like when you reflect upon like, the things they've already done and already have gone through. And then this is the next chapter that's, arguably going to be the biggest chapter that
Yeah.
exists.
Just from the little bits I've even seen, like this has got to be like easily the darkest season we've ever seen yet for Stranger Down.
Yeah.
Like
So
darkest and scariest, I feel like it's easily going to be the best one out of all of them so far.
So the Duffer
It'll
Brothers
even be
talked
worse.
about how like this season, if like the seasons before it kind of had like a theme. So like season 1's like ET, where like 11 is, ET, and then season 2 is like I don't know what to compare it to, but they all have like kind of like a theme like that. This theme is like the horror theme. So they said now that the kids are in high school, this show is going to be feel more like a horror theme, and this allows them to explore like the deeper, newer villains and like that kind of moody darkness that has kind of always loomed throughout the show, but it was never like center stage. Like the Upside Down was always been creepy and dark, and like it seemed eerie when they went in there, but we never really understand like the true depth of the horror that lives in there. And so this
Yeah.
season sounds like we're going to definitely get like that front and center. And then the new villain, that they do show the new villain off in the trailer, guys. So if you do want to see it for yourself, I recommend you watch it. But yeah, the new villain looks very, very cool. And it does not look like they were like, no, let's kid him up. They're like, no, let's make this dude creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They did not disappoint in that regard because he looks creepy as hell. That is one hell of a humanoid looking creature.
Yeah, dude. There's just so
I
much
was
going
just
on in this trailer that looks so fucking cool, dude.
don't even know where to start with what to say. Like we've been waiting for this season for so long, it feels like, and are not disappointing with what they're showing so far. Like everything looks top tier, everything looks great. The new villain, like there he is if for the viewers that are actually watching video.
Yeah.
Just looks completely just menacing. Like that is horror film right there. That is top. Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know what else to say about it. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for so long for this.
So let's talk about that. Like, okay, so we've seen the trailer.
Yep.
I mean, without spoilers about the stuff I read, what do you think? Seeing this trailer and then waiting as long as we have, what are you most excited to see?
Um, most excited. Uh, I mean, I'm always excited to see more Upside Down. This new villain, it'd be cool to see kind of how he was created. It always seems like the Upside Down comes into our world, does some stuff, and maybe it evolves after that point. It always seems to be learning and evolving. So in last season, season 3, we had the Mind Flayer was the main villain in that one, and it came up with a way to kind of neutralize Eleven's ability to use her telepathic telekinesis abilities. Now with this new villain, it seems it's even more evolved now. So we went from Demigorgon to Mind Flayer, and now we got this humanoid-looking creature. Uh, no idea what its abilities are. Nothing. I know nothing about it. Just looks badass. Looks strong. Um, will it have abilities on its own? Like that part is what I'm really excited for. And I did see in the trailer there that there is a Demogorgon. I was really excited to hopefully get more of that again. Just kind of that classic the day one villain. We're gonna see more of that again, so that's really cool. And I'm excited for villains. I'm huge for villains. That's what I'm most excited about for this show. That's where I'm at. What about you? What are you
Uh,
excited for?
I mean, for me, the thing that really drew me into this in the beginning is like when I think back to like what really inspired me to watch the first season is it reminded me so much of Goonies, where it's just like this group of misfit kids and they find themselves on this adventure that just like, seemingly unfolds into, sheer fantasy where they find like some, a treasure, a ship that's loaded with treasure and there's like, larger than life characters surrounding that treasure. And that's kind of what this show kind of masters in my opinion. It's like, these kids, you get introduced to them. They're kind of goofy and quirky little kids. And then they go down this rabbit hole of just, chaos. And on the other end, they come out, relatively unscathed, but still like battle hardened. And then now this season, we're really going to see them get tested. And I think that's kind of what I'm most excited for is to see how the evolution of these kids really goes. Like 11 doesn't have her powers. Like, does she get them back? We don't know. Why does she not have them right now? We don't know. What happened to Hopper? Like, we know he's alive, but like, does he come back? Is he in our time? Like, do we know? Like, we don't know a lot about what happened to Hopper. You know, uh, there's just so many questions up in the air about like the actual happenings that are going on with this group that I really want to answer. The villains and stuff look cool, and like I said, they really depicted that this season's going to be like a horror film, and I'm super down for that because I think my favorite parts of the show up till now were definitely the parts that leaned into that like harsher edge where the like dichotomy of it being like a kids show but then also fucking scary at times. And I think
Yeah.
that kind of like duality really like favors a show like this because you get drawn in and kind of like lower your guard with this group of kids that are just, misfits and having fun. And then the next thing you know, they're fighting fucking essentially for the fate of mankind, kind of. You know what I mean? They don't want this evil entity to seep into reality or to our Earth or galaxy or whatever it is. They haven't really explained how that all works. Like if the upside down is like another dimension or not. So we don't know anything about that. But they like, find themselves fighting this entity. And up until now, they've been pretty successful, but their biggest weapon is gone. So really, we're going to have to see how they come together as a unit to either fulfill the gap that's missing with 11 not having her powers or finding some new way to augment themselves to really be competitive. And if everything, is an evolution, this new villain's going to be way scarier than the Mind Flayer. And as you said, they show demigorgons and they also show like bats and stuff. So those things are seemingly going to be more commonplace, I would assume. So threats like that will probably be more lower level threats, whereas before they were perceived as like something super scary. Now they'll probably be more commonplace, so they'll have to figure out how to like overcome those villains more often. So I guess in my the things that excite me is like one, to see the evolution of the kids, to see the horror aspect truly embraced, because now that they're older they can really get away with, playing on the edge of that. And then now the stakes are way higher than ever before. So are they going to be able to deliver that all in this pressure cooker situation? That's really what I'm excited for. Can they tell a great story while also just leveling everything up all the time? Plus, I just love the way this show is styled. Like, there's something about the depiction of the upside down, and like the contrast between like the red and dark colors in this show that are really like visually pleasing. So I mean, it's just all around entertaining for me. But I'm curious to see like how they step it up this season. I don't know, man. There's just so many things to question. Like, what the fuck's Hopper doing? Like, there's just endless questions, dude.
So many questions. I need answers, and I needed them yesterday.
Yeah, dude.
I
It's
need
I
these
don't know.
episodes yesterday. Like, I can't even remember what the release date was for season 3. It's been so long since we've had a new season.
Yeah. For good reason. Apparently, they said every episode of this season does not go under an hour. So, like, they haven't specified how long each episode is, but you could anticipate a minimum an hour per episode. And I mean, if anything, if it was like seasons in the past, like the final episode could be like a fucking movie at that point. You know what I mean? Like if they need to really stretch it out to get it closed, it could be like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Like who knows what to anticipate.
Yeah.
So it is kind of crazy that we're really getting, not only are we getting another Stranger Things season, but we're getting a lot of it by the sounds of it.
Yeah. The release date for Stranger Things season 3 was July 5th of 2019. It has been the hottest minute for such a great show to be on such a break. I understand it's probably COVID. These kids are really blowing up in the world. Like they are in some major blockbuster movies these days. Like they got so much going on. So I'm sure everything plays a factor in why this was not pumped out as soon as it could be. But god damn, I cannot wait for first episode, first part one. I can't wait for any of it. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
dude.
book the day off work. I'm just gonna sit and binge it like over and over again. Just really get it sunken into me. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm sure everybody's probably on the same page. Like we've been waiting for this for so long to get this. So to have a release date, to know roughly how long each episode is, it's coming out in 2 parts, so you can't completely binge it. So there is something more to look forward to after you finish part one, which is really great. I'm glad they kind of did that because I can't trust myself to turn it off after a couple episodes. I will finish all of it in one sitting. 100%. Even if it is like an hour an episode, I'm so invested into this show that I will finish it in a sitting. So 2 parts, perfect. No complaints there. Hour each, awesome, even better. I just got to go pick up more sody pops and some candies to sit there and binge out with as I watch it.
Yeah.
But thank God, been way too long for such a great show to come with some new new episodes.
Yeah, man.
Exciting.
It's so crazy to me that one, it's been that long, and two, that like this season is like an escalation in a lot of ways. But I mean, clearly you can tell just by the trailer, like no fucking expenses were spared on this season. Like they did more practical effects this season. They're doing way more locations this season, and just the sheer volume of episodes we're gonna get, like in terms of duration, is like way more. Like an hour per episode. If we get 10 episodes, it's a 10-hour season. That's a huge season of TV. You know what I mean? That's a
Yeah.
lot. So shit. I mean, they can tell a lot of story in 10 hours. I just fucking pray it's good. And then we're still getting one more after this, I believe. Season 5, I think, is the end, from what I
Oh
understand.
no. Terrible.
But are you gonna binge watch the other seasons leading up to this? Like, are you gonna revisit it?
As much as I usually just watch like the last episode of the last season to dive into the next. I don't really go through the whole season again, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I still got a lot of time before this episode even comes out, so maybe I could just binge watch season 3 all over again and just dive right into season 4. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it, right?
What? How do I do what? Sorry. Just watch the last season?
Yeah, so you like watch the full last season, right? And then dive right into the next one?
It depends what it is, for a lot of reasons. One, season length, and two, the nature of it. Like if it's like Attack on Titan or something, there's so many through lines throughout the seasons that like I really feel like you gain a lot by revisiting everything because then you understand like how the royal family works and how that you know what I mean. Like there's just so many pieces,
Yeah.
and I think for this, the first two seasons are relatively short. The third season's more like an action movie, so like it's longer, but it feels faster. So I might revisit the whole thing prior to this one coming out. And it's been a
Hardcore
long
knowledge
time.
very
Like
sick.
I haven't watched, Stranger Things since the shit came out last time, which as we just talked about, it's been like 2 or 3 years. So it's been a
Yeah.
while. So it would be nice to go back and like refresh the whole thing prior to actually being able to binge watch the new season. So I'll probably revisit the whole thing. But typically, what I will do is what you describe. I'll watch the full last season just so I completely am like where I need to be.
Yeah. And then one thing in the trailer there too, I noticed Max, the red-haired girl, is like floating in the air at that grave site there. So I'm curious to what that's about.
Dude,
Did she
there's
acquire powers?
yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, guys, if you're still listening, like there's a trailer deep dive with the Duffer Brothers exclusively on IGN's YouTube. If you really want to know more, I recommend you watch it. But they will like frame by frame this bitch and tell you a lot about, not exactly what's going on, but a lot about like where people are, what we're seeing in the trailer, not necessarily context to it, but like little snippets that you probably missed just watching the trailer. They will pause and be like, this is this guy doing this. So it explains a lot more about like what you're seeing. So if you really can't wait and you want some more like information, I recommend you watch that, and it will explain a lot. But it just goes to show you there is a lot that is showcased in this trailer where you really could like watch it like I don't know 100 times and probably discover something new. Where like you just barely noticed it before, but now you've over like watching it over and over again, you start to realize what's new about it. But there's so many little things, like you said, like the girl floating at the fucking tombstone. There's depictions of fights. There's a guy playing a fucking guitar on top of an RV and
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
upside down. Like there's just so much stuff going on that like who really knows how it all works. But there's certainly a lot of shit in that trailer, and they talk about a lot of it in that breakdown. So if you really want to know more, I recommend watching it. I've watched it. It doesn't spoil too much, but it definitely does give you a little bit more context of like what you could expect to see in this season and where people are, because now they're all split up. So it's and the trailer uses Separate Ways by Journey. It's a remix of Separate Ways by Journey. So it's like the perfect song because they're all kind of like doing their own separate things. So it's a perfect song for that, and the remix is very good. So it's just a treat to watch the trailer. So I'd recommend revisiting it a couple times just to see what you might have missed the first couple times.
Perfect.
But yeah, man, that's it.
Well,
That's the episode.
that's it. That's all
We
for
got
this week.
for this week. Yeah, episode 8 is in the books. We got a little tangent-y, but I mean for the most part
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
focused.
For the most part.
Most part. For
We
us that's
tried.
good.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's unscripted. What do you expect? Things happen. It's the passion.
It's the passion indeed. Yeah. But yeah, we just want to thank you guys all for hanging out and listening to us, and I hope you guys are just as excited about all that stuff as we are.
Oh
If
yeah.
there's anything we talked about today that you're particularly excited about, please let us know in the comments below and tell us why. Or if something we talked about you can relate to, tell us what that is. And if you pee with your pants around your ankles and your t-shirt up in urinals, please tell us that too, because God, that's just fucking the
God, you're a
most
legendary
gangster move
weirdo.
ever. But yeah, I don't know. Kyle, tell
Some
these
primo
beautiful
shit.
people what they can do before they go.
What you can do before you go is slap the like button, slap the subscribe, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your friends, tell your grandma. Just share the word of We Nerdin Out and just help us grow this beautiful community that we got started here. And we really appreciate you guys watching our stuff. And we hope to come back next week with some more entertainment. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Next time. Bye bye.
Next time. Bye.